Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another B Odds live draft. We are back for our second draft of the day. This one's going to be Roto draft in snake format. If you wanted to get in on my future drafts, here I have some prepped. Got some prepped up go here later on today. Definitely check out the description box below. It's Dave. Let me see. Okay, there you go. Much better. So if you guys want to jump in on some of the drafts here, got some lined up for today. Check the description box. Types of drafts and there's a change. So I believe I entered category drafted in here today at 10. Signed up for one. Uh, Nevertheless, let's go over here real quick. So, all right, we'll go over some strategy here. So in rotisserie leagues, shooting splits are very important in this format because they will be tracked all season. So it's a good idea to make up players that are skilled and have a large. Also, they need to be efficient. Players like, for example, Giannis Antetokounmpo, ranked I believe fifth or sixth on Yahoo. He definitely does not round because he's going to take free throw. Very difficult. Very difficult to cover category. Make sure that if you're going to draft somebody, keep an eye on their blitz. They players in a league like this. Injury prone players are okay to draft, but it's a good idea to also draft their handcuff. By that here, for example, why Leonard, arguably one of the best Roto League boards that you can game, but don't really know what his season looked like. Did last year 30 games this season. If you're going to be picking up a player that has a injury history, it's a good idea to by Leonard drafting Powell might as well. That's that. Also, look for players who play multiple positions. That's pretty much across any league. Having additional flexibility definitely. Let's take a look at what a draft might look like for Roto leagues. Your early rounds, here rounds 1 through 5, you're picking up the best player available without busting strategy. I'm going to be looking to try and efficient all around team. I'm going to be looking for players that best fit my profile within the first middle rounds, 6 through 9. You're going to fill positional gaps. So if I ended up guards, I'm forwards in the middle. Late rounds, look for draft sleepers, guys shoot getting a production, projected jump production, or some of the players moved on, or some players on my list. Of course, in snake draft, there are going to be runs at a position. Not so much in basketball as you'd see in baseball, but just be aware if you have like, you want to be actually pick up a center waiting, so that way start the run last guy that's not with you. So keep that in mind there when drafting. Right. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a quick little overview of the thing that we're working on here at Beat the Odds, partnered with Q Platforms. I am a fantasy basketball advisor on their platform, which you can actually submit questions. I'll be able to answer them by sending an audio reply. It's actually really, really cool. I've done this here for fantasy baseball. It's a great program. Um, there's a sample on that you got just to kind of see how it works. And of course, if you have any questions that you can ask, you can always submit that back. Really excited to be able to partner with platforms. It is time. Draft. We have a minute and a half left in this draft. Ninth, which is not great, but because you get the turn, really do have the ability to solidify what type of in my round team I've got guys hoping to get for that. Embiid is actually ranked ninth, although it is risky up Embiid in the first round. Being that this is not head to head, all I need from him significant games doesn't matter. Front end of the season, back end of the season. Okay, so I'll be targeting him, praying that I get this type of form. Absolutely. So less than 20 seconds left. I hope you guys enjoyed this this type of content. If you please leave a like on the video on the stream or subscribe to the channel. That way you can all the stuff that we do on the regular are starting the draft. Here we go. First pick of the draft is probably going to be Victor Wembanyama. Saw that second time that that's happened. Which is going to be next. Really, if I had the number one pick, I love Victor Wembanyama. I think is a phenom. Does think nobody in the world can have on a fantasy roster, but in Roto League, where your count provide really good percentages, try to turnovers, struggles at I would be more apt to pick points league or head to head league, but ups down. All right, here we go. Got the next pick coming up here. And sure enough, I have Joel Embiid. Available here. We're going to go ahead and pick. Now, it's a little unfortunate in this. There's a auto pick players. I much prefer the selections. Okay, so I don't know if I want Sabonis here. Available there to me. No, I might little reaching on this pick here, but I want to try and secure some stats in all categories. Body Barnes. A little bit of a reach. I missed out on him prior draft. I was thinking I was Kevin Durant, but at the end of the day, I want to pick up a player. So if you're watching this on the live or if you're watching this on replay, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to leave comments. I'd be very interested to see what you guys' take are on Yahoo formats on points leagues, which actually something for Yahoo. Get a point draft off the day here at talk. But yeah, here leave comments here either replay or during the live stream. So as I had mentioned here at the start of this live stream, Wolf in the early draft, pick the best players that are available. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, and so far it's pretty solid. I don't mind the first two picks. I am kind of banking on healthy Joel Embiid, a little risky when you are toward the end of the round to have a Scotty Barnes, of course, is, but I really do believe is going to be the undisputed focal point. Kristaps presents this round will probably January. Not again, it's not a bad idea. Not a terrible idea. Players, I don't think. All right, I've got the next pick coming up here. You're going to go ahead and actually pick up De'Aaron Fox. I don't all. And now my next pickup here might be a little controversial, but I truly do that he is star in the make. Johnson and now that Trey Young, of course, has moved or he hasn't moved on. Dejounte Murray moving on. That is a role east everywhere else, but up this game could be another following year. Or I like Jalen Johnson. What's also kind of nice with the picks that I've made here so far, it's basically spread across all positions. But I do need to make sure that I can, just in case I that might be the next. We'll kind of see what's back around. I have a feeling kind of where it does seem as though some of have jumped draft, which is I'd be interested to know what your favorite format is. I mean, Yahoo Points is new, but if you've done point drafts on like 10, yes, or Total Wire, or all the other ones, curious to see. My favorite, I think, is head-to-head category. I gravitate to most. That but there's a whole host of centers coming up here that I can. I'm not. About the There you go. We're gonna go ahead and draft Evan Mobley. One of the other things that I like to do, try and pick up players that provide you with stats that wouldn't uh, that type of player do. And next pickup for me fits that bill perfectly. We're gonna go ahead and wait. So if you pick up, say, for example, a Victor Wembanyama, have secured. If you don't get him, then fine from that. Be a good idea to try and pick those stats. Barnes per game. Eric White, who can play point guard, also will be. Uh, we were able to get through the first draft in about a half an hour. I don't think, but still, still pretty quick. I'd say if you're doing one at our side, it's at least an hour. I made an hour and a half drafts and just in case. Now I've got a pickup lined up here that hoping falls to me. I'm kind of took a bit of a gamble here. I six, but I couldn't just pick the right build that I'm. Another high risk player, of course, but one that some strange reason dropped in rankings quite far. Might be a little guarantee in the middle. Does all right, so I'm gonna go. John Morant. My team is mostly built around uh, non-scoring. So to have a pure scorer like Ja is certainly good. All right. Now I got to kind of figure out where I want to go here. Think. No, see with Zach. I was able to get him in the point. Well, points leagues and roto leagues are similar sense that um gotten yeah, scratch that. They're not really all that simple. Like a player, for example, classic example, much better suited points league, roto league tracks his free throw. Um, points leagues and category league where head not going to matter so much. You can always, or you just need five category, five category that are categories that you put in. And So now that we crossed over into the part of the draft, again, we're just trying to look to see some rotational holes. Right, I've got just two center, two center eligible players, Evan Mobley and Joel Embiid. I'm going to look to see if I can get another one. There is one kind of queued up that I wouldn't mind picking up. But guarantee that get them. So far, I'm not minding my solid pretty much category that I could just risky. That's the only hot job. I mean, in round seven, I think risk a trouble season steal. Well, Embiid, I am putting a lot of mind picking up first, but in this type of league that doesn't have fantasy playoffs, I'm a little, little easier for me to. I just need to. So, who are the players that you're high on? Fantasy basketball. Let me know. Chat. Okay, so the player has become available to head and draft Barry Smith Jr. Edition. Right over. Well, nice. Nice little extra. And then the next one, this next one, I think I'm going to go ahead and up some, I think, well, type of format, and he follows along the same type of player pickup as Derek White. We're going to go ahead and get Herbert Jones. I have a pretty good feeling that amongst the league, we're coming down the home stretch. Now, in the last portion draft. Pretty happy with how this one is. There's still one more name out there that I'm targeting and hoping to get on the team. I think that's going to be actually scratch that. I see that he found Jalen in the 10th round. Still, judging by how he come around. See now that Alprin is back. Fred Van Vliet, host of talented scores on that squad. Don't think we're going to see. Nevertheless, he's still a very, very, very good. Oh, there goes another pick I was looking to pick up here. Zach Edey. I was hoping to select the Canadian for here. Um, Now that I don't have him, Deontay George is available, but is I I'm scared away by the goal. Don't want to risk what I'm trying to build. That where I definitely would benefit from having another center on the squad. Jakob Pertl is going. He may ride the pine for the majority, but filling in um, well and beat. All right. Next pick I'm going to here is someone that I think is going to perform kind of nicely this season, given that there isn't a whole lot of scoring in Brooklyn. Picking up a Dennis Schroeder going to be a solid source of assists, of course, but he I would venture get for this. We actually might end up at the 30-minute, right around the first draft. One other thing of note, changes in the Yahoo game is now it's now 10 for public league instead of the 12. It's going to mean that you're drafting 100 players instead of 6. Want to be more players, quality players. Waiver wire is a little bit more speed, isn't as risky because there is a chance. Right, we are now last round. Don't really have anyone particular that I'm looking to draft, but there are a couple names that are still interesting enough. Okay. Actually, I'm my thoughts to pick up Denny Avdia here. It's the last round. We're gonna pick up Denny Avdia to finish off the team. Gonna be able to Luca Light. I think that's going off draft. Yeah, it's all. Let's see if we can. Here we go. Okay, so taking a look at draft results, our standings, and something I wouldn't necessarily marry yourself to this, but this does give you kind of a good idea as to how well you are to deal with your strategy. So, an all around efficient. 49% field goal percentage is pretty good. This 79% free talked. I thought I was going to do up. Good on points, not great on three. Uh, good on rebounds, solid on assists. Good on steals, pretty good on blocks. There, this is a pretty solid team. Pretty solid team. It's going to take a little bit of work to get to that number one spot, but I think we're off to a pretty good. So that's going to do it here for this draft. I should have another one lined up here shortly. Um, keep an eye on the channel here. I am doing drafts all day. I want to jump in drafts. Just yeah, keep an eye out there. Shortly. That's going to do it here for this one. Thank you guys for joining me here on this draft. I'm going to